It's been over a good 3 months, and this video was long overdue. Hello everybody, I'm Jables Games, and welcome back to another review. Kicking off 2017, we are finally reviewing Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity for the PlayStation 2. It was released in 2004, the year Crash was ready to bounce back from mixed reviews from Wrath of Cortex and from his other racing game, Nitro Kart. Mentioning Spyro one more time here, this was him in Spyro's year. Both of them were getting a new game. Spyro was in a way shittier situation than Crash though. They both crossed over in a shitfest of a GBA game. Well, I guess I'm over-exaggerating there. Both had some McDonald's-type meal toys. Yeah, believe it or not. This was a big year for them. Crash Twinsanity was developed by Traveler's Tales, and this was their farewell to the Crash series. Let's kick the story off, and it's actually kind of an odd one. First cutscene we see is Coco Bandicoot just chasing a butterfly and having fun. Then Dr. Dr. Cortex was spying on her, and then decides to stun her with his ray gun. He then proceeds to walk up to Coco's paralyzed body. He then begins to strip her fucking clothes and dress up as her. Can we confirm Cortex is a pedo in this one or what? Anyway, we then see our hero Crash digging a hole and coming out with a shoe in his mouth. And Coco then tells Crash to meet her at the bay. Then we set off on our adventure into the world of Crash Twinsanity. Right off the bat, you notice how different it is from the originals. Notice no warp room? Yes. Crash Twinsanity completely eliminates the warp rooms and puts you in a 3D free-roaming environment. Not fully free-roaming though. The game is still linear in a way, but you can go back to some islands in some cases. Moving around a bit, we get to have a feel for the controls and solve some paths to collect some gems, which unlock concept art and other funny bonus clips, and they are required to 100% the game. We then have a cutscene with Aku Aku, where he says, "My duty is to protect you." Well, someone needs to fire your fucking ass because you are 100% useless. You can't protect me from nitro explosions, and fucking invincibility can't even protect you from nitro explosions, and you can't run through boxes or enemies. Thanks, asshat. Now moving on, after going through a funny but unskippable tutorial, we then meet up with Coco at the bay, who reveals herself as, oh my god, yeah, totally didn't see that coming. So after a talk with Cortex and about 5 characters, maybe 6 from older games, just chilling and making a cameo, you go on to a boss fight with Cortex. Fuck yeah, a boss fight to kick this game off. After kicking the shit out of Cortex, you then meet Mecha Bandicoot. We are, like 10 minutes into the game and it's already badass for the start? The boss fight is simple, kinda like Crash 1 for Cortex boss fight. Dodge whatever he throws, hit green blast back at him, and it's over. Going on to the second world, or level, little gimmick, and reason why this game is called Crash Twinsanity, is you are beating the shit out of Cortex, but working together through the cave, in a way, through a dangerous ass tunnel, filled with death roads, nitro boxes, which Aku Dipshit doesn't protect you from. Okay, now going through the game, starts showing off more of its reason, new gimmick. Okay, now going through the game more, it starts showing off more of its reason and its new gimmick. You and Cortex work together. You throw Cortex to other platforms to solve puzzles for you to get across. Do boss fights with him, and the last boss fight, even involving all 3 characters to fight. Yes, all 3, because Nina Cortex is introduced to us. Which I'm gonna say right fucking now, I hate her level with all my heart, and playing with her sucks. Sorry, but I do like the character, in general, I'll admit. Who's the enemy of the game since Cortex is working with you? Well, the evil assholes trying to destroy the island are the evil twins, who I actually like, and are in my top 10 Crash Bandicoot characters video somewhere around, I forgot which place. Their names are Victor, and I believe Moritz is the second one, correct me if I'm wrong. Their goal, obviously, is to destroy their island home, and Cortex and Crash along with it. Mostly Cortex, because why? They are his pets. Plot twist. But they want to kill him because Cortex launched him into the second dimension as a kid. I mean, I guess their villains are cool. I mean, obviously I like the mods, but in all honesty, they didn't even look that threatening until you see them in concept art. Moving on to a few smaller things to talk about, the graphics are great and colorful, though some parts can look pretty odd. On top of that, the character models look pretty cool, I guess. In fact, the design for Crash is actually my favorite look for him. He just looks so awesome. The game soundtrack is way different this time around since it's performed by an a cappella group named Spyro. It's unique, and there are some tunes I like. Well, most of the ones I heard I do like. My favorite has to be Antagony or the Evil Twins boss fight soundtrack. But the absolute worst that made me want to blow my fucking brains out playing this game is this. Yeah, you get the idea. The boss fights are okay, I guess. You meet familiar faces and then meet some new faces. The newer ones being Man and Amberly, the evil twins of course, and the Slain Tika boss fight, which to win is to throw Cortex deep into his mouth, let him choke, and spit it out. Nice! Speaking of Cortex, yes, you do get to play as him. What do I think of his levels? I actually quite like them. I have lots of fun during them in all honesty, and I guess they could be kinda tiresome. I always found this part in the Evil Twins boss fight slow as fuck, but satisfying, smashing the shit out of the square button, hitting the Evil Twins guns on the robot and knocking down some damage. Cortex gameplay can be summed up like this: smash the square button, because it's honestly kind of true, despite me actually liking it. Twinsanity is a very funny game and has some great writing. This game made me laugh quite a few times and still does. There's even times where Cortex breaks the fourth wall, and it's pretty awesome. It makes it even better. Here's this one for example.
The check bounced. Are you sure? Well, the past few years have kind of been slow. Wrath of Cortex didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and... Fish?
Man, this game just never gets old. It always gives me blessed nostalgia and happiness when I replay it. Crash Twinsanity is a good game, and like every good game, it does have its flaws. It is a rushed game, so it was unfinished, leaving lots of levels out. Crash Twinsanity is extremely short. This game is split into 4 areas, and this goes in order: Insanity Island, Iceberg Lab, Academy of Evil, and then the 10th Dimension. All of them have 3 levels each. The transition levels do not count, so it's at 3 instead of 4. So that's 12 levels. That's extremely short. Twinsanity had many more coming, for example Gone a Bit Coco, which is supposed to be added, but too buggy, so they cut it. And then one, where you're in Cortex's mind, in the background you have Cortex singing an odd song called Take a Walk in My Brains. Nice. That's not all though. Twinsanity is pretty damn buggy. Not Enter the Dragonfly buggy, where you can literally beat the game in 5 fucking minutes, but buggy enough to beat it in a half hour to maybe an hour. Shout out to Beta M, by the way, he's the one with the speedruns for Twinsanity. I myself haven't encountered any major glitches. There were a few I encountered on accident, like Crash just sliding like an ice cube on the floor in this level for Academy of Evil. And then I did a few on purpose to see if they worked. Sure enough, I broke the first boss fight without, well, trying much. The story behind it: I rode on the green blast that Cortex usually shoots onto this platform, and then, once I hit a green blast back at Cortex while I was on the platform, I then body slammed him when he teleported back up to it twice, finished off his health. Once he teleported again, I spun him off the entire map into the ocean, and the boss fight stopped there. Didn't get to Mecha Bandicoot, nowhere else. I had to restart the entire game or kill Crash just to get to the boss fight again. And if I could do it again, I'll film it. Twinsanity as well doesn't have much challenge. This game is pretty easy, though in all honesty it doesn't really bother me at all since I still have fun with it and never get bored with the game. So Crash Twinsanity, let's recap and top off this review. Crash Twinsanity is a good game, but what dragged it down from being perfect is it from being rushed, which made the game buggy and had less levels. The game didn't offer much challenge. Looking at the positives though, the game is very fun, and there are quite a couple things that changed up gameplay. Skating on Cortex, making paths for him in one level, and even doing a puzzle with pipes and creating new platforms to go across. There are many positives for this game and a good chunk of negatives, but overall Crash Twinsanity is a good game. My final rating for this game is a 7.5 out of 10. Lost potential in this game, but still good for what we got for it. Tune in next time where I take a look at... Damn it!